By the late 1950s, Harry Webb had transformed into Cliff Richard, a name that would become synonymous with the birth of British rock and roll. At the time, Britain had no authentic rock identity of its own. American artists dominated the charts, and domestic performers often aimed for polite, middle-of-the-road songs that appealed to adults more than teens. When Cliff recorded Move It in 1958, it was raw, urgent, and unlike anything else Britain had produced. A chance play of the B-side on a BBC radio program propelled the song up the charts, and in that instant, Cliff became more than a rising star. He became a trailblazer. On stage, he moved with an energy that felt spontaneous, confident, and slightly rebellious. Young audiences saw themselves reflected in his music, and with the shadows by his side, he helped lay the foundation for a distinctly British youth culture, proving that Britain could create its own voice and identity in the rock and roll world. Private love, quiet loyalty. Love in Cliff Richard's life was often unspoken, deeply felt, and discreet. While he never married or had children, his personal relationships reveal a depth and sensitivity that the public rarely saw. One of the most enduring connections in his life was with Olivia Newton-John. They first met in 1971 when Olivia, then a young Australian singer, appeared on his television variety show. Cliff immediately recognized something special in her, not just talent, but a presence that lingered beyond performance. Yet, Olivia was already engaged to Bruce Welch, Cliff's friend and bandmate in the Shadows. Cliff chose loyalty and restraint, keeping his deeper feelings private. Even after Olivia and Bruce parted ways, Cliff never pursued a romantic relationship, instead nurturing a friendship and professional collaboration that endured for decades. When they performed together, their voices carried an authentic tenderness, a subtle acknowledgement of unspoken emotions. He later reflected that the opportunity for romance had passed, yet the connection remained a treasured part of his life, a love quietly honored rather than publicly displayed. From teen idol to cultural icon, Cliff's rise was rapid, and by the early 1960s, he was not only dominating the music charts, but also starring in films that captured the optimism and energy of post-war Britain. Movies such as The Young Ones and Summer Holiday were more than entertainment. They reflected a society learning to hope again, embracing youth culture, and enjoying the excitement of possibility. Cliff's screen presence was natural and grounded, never forced, and audiences responded enthusiastically. He achieved this success before the Beatles would redefine the global music landscape, establishing himself as a pioneering figure in British entertainment. In both music and film, Cliff showed that talent, dedication, and authenticity could resonate across mediums and generations, making him a cultural force beyond mere chart positions. Navigating public scrutiny. Even the most careful public lives face moments of trial, and in 2014, Cliff endured one of the most challenging periods of his career. A police investigation unfolded publicly, creating intense media attention and personal strain. Though no charges were ever brought and the matter was resolved without legal action, the experience tested his sense of privacy, safety, and emotional well-being. Cliff later pursued legal action to ensure that fairness and accountability were upheld, focusing on the principles of justice rather than vengeance. The court ruling in his favor restored a sense of dignity and highlighted the importance of protecting personal rights, especially when public narratives can diverge from reality. Through it all, Cliff remained measured, demonstrating patience, composure, and the ability to maintain perspective during extraordinary pressure. Enduring artistry. Cliff Richard's impact extends far beyond records sold or tours performed. His music, performances, and personal choices illustrate a life committed to authenticity, consistency, and emotional honesty. He embraced the joys of performance while quietly managing his own values, allowing him to sustain a career that spans decades. Cliff's ability to connect with audiences, both musically and personally, is rooted in an understated sincerity that transcends the noise of changing trends. Fans respond not just to his voice, but to the sense that what they hear is genuine, a reflection of his inner self, rather than a manufactured image. The quiet power of love and friendship. Throughout his life, Cliff showed that the strength of human connection need not be loud or public to be profound. His long-standing bond with Olivia Newton-John exemplifies the power of friendship, trust, and mutual respect. Even when romantic possibilities were impossible or lost, he chose to honor relationships with discretion and care. This approach extended to his collaborations, his work with bandmates, and his interactions with fans. Cliff's story is a reminder that enduring love and loyalty often flourish not in the spotlight, but in quiet commitment and thoughtful presence. Legacy and cultural influence. Cliff Richard's legacy is inseparable from the cultural shifts he helped shape. He was there at the inception of British rock and roll, bridging the gap between American influences and homegrown talent. He brought optimism, energy, and relatability to a generation hungry for its own voice. Beyond that, he demonstrated how an artist could evolve gracefully with changing times, maintaining relevance without sacrificing authenticity. His influence is seen not only in music but also in film, philanthropy, and the example of a life lived with integrity. Cliff's journey illustrates the enduring value of consistency, humility, and quiet courage, showing that true impact is measured not only in fame, but in the steadiness of character across decades. Reflections on a life well lived. Looking back over a career that spans more than 6 decades, Cliff Richard's story is one of perseverance, dignity, and emotional depth. He faced the challenges of a changing world, the pressures of public expectation, and the complications of private longing, yet he remained true to himself at every turn. His faith, artistic integrity, and capacity for deep connection with others have provided him with stability and purpose. In sharing glimpses of love, loss, and quiet triumph, Cliff has shown that a meaningful life is built not on the absence of hardship, but on the grace with which one responds to it. A voice that endures. Today, Cliff Richard's presence in music and culture continues to resonate, not merely because he achieved success, but because he achieved it with authenticity and care. His voice remains familiar and comforting, in part because it is rooted in honesty, reflection, and personal experience. He did not chase trends for attention or acclaim. He allowed his work to grow naturally with him, evolving as both an artist and a person. Cliff's enduring appeal lies in this blend of talent, principle, and understated humanity, demonstrating that longevity is less about spectacle and more about truthfulness, resilience, and the quiet power of commitment to one's own values. Closing thoughts. The life of Cliff Richard is a testament to the possibility of remaining authentic amid constant change. He has navigated love, fame, faith, and adversity with steadiness, never seeking approval for its own sake, yet always earning respect through presence, integrity, and artistry. From a childhood uprooted by historical forces to a career that helped define British music and culture, Cliff's story is one of adaptation, endurance, and quiet courage. His journey reminds us that legacy is not only built in charts or accolades, but in the consistent choice to live with honesty, to honor relationships, and to let talent be guided by conscience. In this, Cliff Richard's life continues to inspire, not because it is flawless, but because it is fully, thoughtfully, and humanly lived.